Hello everyone, and how are we all doing today? Oh, this is my second video of the day. So if you didn't catch the first one, you might not understand why I'm a little bit on the hyper side, or wired. I don't want to say hyper. Just trying to get my fry pan going here, and we're all set with that. That'll warm up, I hope. Oh, it's going to be one of these days. There we are. Okay, so happy Father's Day, everyone. Today I wanted to do something quick and easy, as always, but something that sort of reminds me of my dad. Being what it is today, can't help but think about him. He passed away a few years ago. But this is one of those meals that I remember would always bring us around the kitchen table. And we'd have, we'd just talk. We'd get caught up, so to speak. So I just wanted to do something really quick and really easy. My mom, who was not a good cook, could make this, but it was a dish that took her all day to make. And I don't have that kind of time. So I've played with it over the years, kept the flavor the same, but done it so it could be cooked really quickly. And it's not that hard. Today's video was also I guess I could say requested by a very dear friend of mine, Crystal. Some of you might know her from Plush Time Wins or her Instagram, Cute Cuddly Kawaii. She's a great lady and someone who I'm very, very pleased to call a friend. So, Chris, this is for you as well. But, like I say, it's also reminding me of my dad. So, it's a very, very simple dish to make if you don't have a lot of time. And what I'm making is spaghetti sauce. Everybody loves spaghetti and meat sauce. I'm just moving some stuff around here, trying to make some space. Because I really thought I had more space than I do. So we're just kind of going with the flow. Just getting some water. That we can cook our pasta in. And that now is set to boil as well. Sorry about that. I realized the pot I was using was just too big. So, part of the reason spaghetti sauce normally takes so long to make is it has to cook and simmer to thicken and to become all nice and rich. Well, the reason for that is we got to boil out or cook out all the water. So why not do that almost beforehand? So you'll see what I mean. It's really not hard. So I've already diced over here just 1 onion, 4 cloves of garlic. I've got my fry pan heating up, as I said. That's the other thing. It's one pot and super quick. I've got my hamburger ready. We have a can of whole peeled tomatoes. Whenever you're cooking, especially with canned tomatoes are picked when they're at their absolute freshness. It's not like when they're shipping them to you in the stores where you have to wait, or where they have to pick them, so that they'll get to you in one piece. This is They're picked at their absolute best. They're peeled, and they're somewhat cooked when they put it in the can. So the less something is handled and manipulated, so in other words, being diced or being stewed or anything like that, the more it's going to taste like the original tomato. So that's why I use whole tomatoes. Very simple, nothing, no rocket science or anything behind it. But yeah, so I don't know if you can hear my fry pan popping and wheezing and everything behind me, but so we have our pot of water going. We have our fry pan getting all nice and hot. We're just going to add some salt to our pasta water. Because I'm only cooking for one, I can get away with a smaller pot. But if you're cooking for more people, obviously you need larger pots. So in goes my onion and my garlic. And I've already started losing things, other than my mind. And we want to cook this up now till it gets some color in it and it softens. But while I'm cooking this now, I will add a pinch of salt to that because that'll help draw out some of the moisture. I'm going to take my canned tomatoes and I'm going to pour the liquid in it. Because it's not just water, there's all the tomato juice. And there's a lot of flavor in there. So let's use it. So what that's going to do now is start to reduce and thicken. The water is going to boil out and it's going to give us a ton of flavors. Now also by cooking it with the onions and the garlic, we're helping to flavor everything right at the start. So we're going to turn the heat up to about medium high. We can throw in some other seasonings here. We've got to have pepper. When you're using dry herbs, you want to add them as close to the start as you can so that the flavors will get extracted. Then we have some basil. I've added about 2 teaspoons of each. Stir that in. Something I like to add to my sauce, it's not too traditional, but I just love the flavor of it, is some thyme. And we just added a teaspoon of that. And this is starting to bubble up. So that means all that extra water that you were trying to cook out before when there was a ton of stuff in here is boiling out now. It's softening the onions, it's doing it's working for us instead of us having to work against it. So this is how, whoa, that's steamy. This is how I've learned to make this dish a lot faster. There are times I can make the sauce faster than I can wait for the water to boil. So that gives you a good idea how fast this can cook up. I just stir it around a bit. This way I know nothing's going to stick to my fry pan. And already this smells like a great sauce. You can smell the garlic. The basil is coming through. If you have an herb garden or you have access to fresh herbs and you want to use fresh oregano and fresh basil, go ahead. Add them though at the end, because this way you're not cooking away all the flavor. Whereas with dry herbs, as I say, we have to extract those flavors. It's almost like making tea or coffee. We have to work the flavors out. And I can see this is already thickening. So almost, in a way, yeah, what we're doing is we're almost frying the vegetables that we put in. And also, you saw I just put onion and garlic in here. If you want to put carrots and celery or peppers or anything, go for it. You can make this dish totally vegetarian or even vegan by just leaving out the meat. Follow it the exact same way. So this is already thickening up. Like when I draw my spatula across, you can see, or kind of because of the steam, but you can see it's leaving a trail on the fry pan, like a dry trail. So this is already thickening up and doing its job, which is great. Because the faster it does this, the faster we're eating. Like I say, by stirring it like this, I just make sure none of those little bits stick to the bottom of the fry pan. And it also helps just to help evaporate even more of that water right away. The steam is incredible, but you see, all this is water that you would normally just be simmering off when you're cooking it up for all those hours and hours and hours. Here we're just doing it quickly. So this is a dish, even though it can take forever to cook normally, you could still quickly do when you come home from work. If you have some wine, throw in about half a glass of a nice white wine in here, and that'll even bring out more of the flavors. But we are almost there. This sauce, you can see how it's well, you can kind of see, but you can see how it's sticking on the spatula. So now we're getting to the point we can add our tomatoes. So I'm going to turn the heat down on this. I turned it down to medium, because being a cast iron fry pan, this is still going to hold a lot of heat. For the tomatoes, with them being whole, this is where I just sort of squish them up and crush them by hand. They'll break down more as they cook, but I might as well squish them and give them a starting hand, so to speak. So what we're going to do is we're just going to let this cook down a little bit. It's already cooked down quite a bit, but we're going to let it cook a bit more. This is also a time when you start frying your onions and everything that you want to use a good olive oil. I'm not saying it has to be a $50 bottle, but you want to use at least a good extra virgin olive oil. If you can get a cold press, even better. But try and stay away from the vegetable oils, the corn oils, things like that. It just doesn't bring anything to the dish. Olive oil, of course, very Mediterranean, very Italian, Greek, and it just brings that little something extra that a lot of the times is missing. And part of the reason I love this dish so much is you go to a restaurant and you order spaghetti and meat sauce or spaghetti and tomato sauce. Because right now, that's what we have here, is just a simple tomato sauce. And they charge you 10, 12, 15 bucks For what? For what? It's definitely not worth that amount of money, but they have no problems charging you that. Next, I just take my stick blender, same one that I used this morning in my coffee video, and just carefully, because this is kind of hot, so on a low speed, this is just going to help again to break everything up, to incorporate everything, and to help cook it a little bit faster. Because let's face it, this is all about speed right now. This is all about getting some food on the table. You've been at work all day, or like today, it's just super hot and you don't want to have the stove on all day, so you just want to get it all done. So I'm just breaking all this up and blending it together real quickly. And that's what stick blenders are great for. It just makes life so much easier. Plus they're incredible for making smoothies. So we've got our tomatoes. To me, I don't want it perfectly smooth. I like some texture to it. But it's and there we go. That's it. Right now, as that is, we have a great tomato sauce. We can leave that as is and enjoy it over pasta, add a little bit of cream to it, getting a spoon so we can do a taste test. And of course, someone decides to message me. Really, really good. I can taste the basil, taste the oregano, the onions, the garlic, everything comes through. Nothing is too overpowering. But being super fresh tomatoes, they can be a little bit acidic. So I'm just adding a little teaspoon, maybe a little bit more of sugar. And that's just going to help take a little bit of that acid bite out. And we have our tomato sauce. Take this, like I say, pasta, put it over chicken, put some Parmesan cheese on top, broil it up. You've got the best chicken Parmesan ever. You can add meat to this and make it a spaghetti meat sauce. Try it with Italian sausage. Try putting some crumbled Italian sausage in there, and it's so good. So, really, we are done. That sauce, there we go. That sauce for a tomato sauce, just moving a can out of the way, is ready. And it took maybe 15 minutes, maybe, probably less, but that is done. I'm going to add some hamburger to it. I've already cooked it up. I'm just going to pop it in, let it cook through quickly. Adds maybe another 5 minutes to everything. But we're done. We've got a great, simple, classic tomato sauce that can be used for anything. Use this as your pizza sauce. As I say, chicken Parmesan, chicken cacciatore, wherever a tomato sauce is used. You see how fast now you can put this together. That's thick, rich. I've got the taste in my mouth and it's just there. It's that simple. There's no reason to have to cook this for hours and hours and hours. By getting rid of that extra liquid at the start, that's all we have to do. If People, if moms knew that years ago, I'm sure we would have all had a lot more spaghetti and meat sauce, or spaghetti and tomato sauce. So, thank you ever so much. This has been a real quick video, but I want to show you how quick and easy it can actually be. There's nothing hard about basic cooking. Even taking something as basic as this tomato sauce and spinning it off into something more elaborate is not hard. It's not hard. It's learning those basics, and once you have them, the world's yours. You can do whatever you want. I know this is going to make a great dinner. I'm going to cook up some rigatoni, bake it with a layer of cheese on top, and one of my favorite meals. Like I said, I know it was one of my dad's, but it's just that simple and that quick. So, as always, if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit the thumb, give me a big thumbs up on it, and hit the bell so you see when I come out with new videos. I normally come out with 1 to 2 every week. If you've already subscribed to the channel, thank you for coming and checking out this video, and please leave a comment down below. I never fails, eh? I'd love to know what you think of this, and if you've tried it, how it came out for you. So until next time, my name is Andrew. I am the 5 p.m. chef. Thank you for coming to my kitchen, and we'll see you all again next time. Have a great day. Bye-bye.